Welcome to the podcast, which is all about the world of marketing on television through TV shopping networks and infomercials. Are we on the air? I'm your host, Sean Wilsey, and for over 30 years I hosted shows on cable shopping networks, generating hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, and now I want to be your guide into this world, explaining how it works, why it works, what doesn't work, and introduce you to the people who are making it the success that it is today. And boy, do we have a treat for you today. Oh, strap in. We have a treat. Anybody that knows me well knows that never a more insincere phrase can come out of my mouth. Listen, we are going to look back again. We've done a lot of recent shows about the current state of things. We're going to go back in time again. We're going to go back to about 1985, actually. And no, we're not talking about QVC. Remember, QVC didn't start up until 1986. We're not talking about Home Shopping Club, as was known back then. No. For a lot of people, their first introduction to the very idea of shopping from television didn't come from QVC. It didn't come from CVN. Didn't come from Home Shopping Club. It came from a 1-hour paid television show that went a little something like this.
Welcome to the Telephone Auction Shopping Program, America's #1 auction and bargain event, coming to you from San Jose, California, at the world's largest...
I just want to listen to that music on a loop. I need to find a way. That'd be good background music. We'll just play that through the whole show, just on a loop. Is that the best music ever? You should know me by now. Where you got to start it again. The video, by the way, is classic 80s video. They shoot this at an actual flea market in San Jose, California. And so there's a helicopter overhead video of this massive flea market as the fun begins.
Welcome to the Telephone Auction Shopping Program, America's #1 auction and bargain event, coming to you from San Jose, California, at the world's largest flea market. The bidding and the sale prices of the merchandise are established here at the auction, but you can purchase some of these bargains with a simple toll-free phone call. We've got a lot to sell today, so get your pencil and paper ready and stand by.
Okay, there's so much dating this. Get your pencil and paper ready. It's a phrase I have to admit. When I was in front of the camera, I would still every once in a while tell the viewer to do that, but nobody gets their pencil and paper ready anymore. Let me explain the premise of this, because I know there's probably a lot of people thinking, gosh, there's about 80 other podcasts I could be listening to at this moment. No. Stick with me. Trust me. It's going to be worth it. The Telephone Auction Shopping Program was a 1-hour show. In fact, let me get you directly from my source book here of information that was launched September 7th, 1982. At its peak, it was seen possibly in about 78 million homes, because, again, what it was 1 hour of purchased airtime that they would get wherever they could. But the bulk of the viewership came through 12.5 million homes via Tempo Cable Network. Now, if you're scratching your head saying, what was Tempo Cable Network? I've never heard of it. Well, you're not alone, frankly. Many cable systems, although 12.5 million cable homes in 1985 was a lot. That was a good number. Tempo is the network that was bought simply to be taken off the air and replaced with CNBC. That's how NBC got their homes for CNBC. They bought the entire Tempo network, shut it down, and then flipped a switch and started broadcasting CNBC. So that's how that came to be. But again, that's where, because they ran this show, it was an hour show that they did twice a week. They recorded 2 of these a week, 1-hour broadcast, 2 of them, and they ran them back-to-back Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Tempo. So, okay, that's a pretty good viewership. And then, of course, they could be sold to local stations, which tended to be UHF stations, and they could air them. They looked to run them between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, or late night times. And that's where I remember seeing it, was in a late night, midnight somewhere time slot on a UHF station. But anyway, you got to listen to how this works, because this is something that it screams it literally screams 1985.
Reaction here at the telephone auction.
Welcome to the telephone auction shopping program, where you buy it in...
Yeah. Turn your sound up. Yeah, this it's tough to hear. Chuck Huggins is the main individual that you're going to hear. He, by the way, is an actual auctioneer. Even though this was taped at a flea market or an auction grounds, whatever, he was actually a licensed auctioneer, because the format of this is he's got a whole crowd in front of him that you just heard, and he's going to bring an item out, and they're going to bid it up. Now, that is established. In advertising, we call it anchoring. It's where you anchor a product's value. If I were to go to the movie theater, for instance, and they had a Dr. Pepper 16-ounce for $3, and the 24-ounce was $3.50, they're using the 16-ounce at $3 to anchor the 50 cents more that you're going to spend to get the larger soda, which most people would do. And that's the basic premise, is they're going to bid these items up, and then he's going to make them available at a discount to everyone. And, well, you'll hear how that goes.
Prices coming to you from the world's largest flea market, the San Jose Flea Market. All right. Thank you. All right, let's get right into the first item. Here's the first one. Up at the bid in the auction, sold to the highest bidder. This is Dallas. Now, all you folks sitting out there from Dallas, take a look at what we call Dallas.
It says Dallas knife set on screen.
Division cutlery.
It says 5-piece Dallas
set
knife
of knives.
set.
They're all boxed in and ready for gift giving. How much an auction opening bid? Heavy, carbon to stainless. It's up at the bid in the auction. What do you want to get for it? Wooden handles through the handles. How much to go? Opening bid in a gift box. How much? How did it go? How much? What's your bid? 25? 5? Oh, how can anyone...
People in the crowd raising their hands and
so pretty and so stingy at the same time. 15. All right, 15 I've got. I got 15. Get here 20. I got 15. Get here 20. At 15, get here 20. At 20, 20. Get it about. Hit it about 20. Hit it at 5. At $20, get it about. It's gift boxed, ready to go. We're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, a knife set that you should be paying upwards of $59.95 for. What I'm gonna do is this: stop the bidding, and let's turn them into cash. We have 1,500 only. That's enough for 1 week's supply.
That's it.
First 1,500
Better
dollars.
rush.
I'm gonna say sold. Your cost. Well, the last bid was 20. Let's do it this way. Every hand that goes up, not 19, 18, or 17. $16. Every hand that goes up. 409 gets 2 times the money. 700 gets 1. 50 gets 1. 330.
Now, people in the crowd are holding up numbers, and this is something I've never been able to answer. And I'm trying to reach the guy who's in charge of this whole thing, and so hopefully we'll get an answer to this someday. So people in the crowd are holding up their bidder number, and that's what he's calling out now. Assuming then that they're actually purchasing, but who knows? They could just be, for the show of it, holding up their number like they're interested.
Gets 1. 73 gets 1. 66 gets 1. Sold 163 gets 1. 70 gets 1. 69 gets 1. 66 gets 1. Get up and call in now. Your cost $16. All right, here's the next one.
That's it. That's the whole presentation. I hope you learned what you needed to about those knives, because that's it. There's a phone number on the screen that you can call to place your order. In between products, they cut to, again, totally dating this 1980s, a call center, about 6 rows of people holding their phone and with giant CRT monitors in front of them. Telephone auction sign in the background, taking your orders. So that's the premise. That's it. That's all. Rinse, repeat. Here's another one.
This is the Law Espresso machine from Molinex Regal. It's up at the bid in the auction, sold to the highest bidder. Espresso has the warmer plate here on the top. It also, you can steam your coffee. They make espresso.
He's got 2 guys, by the way, next to him that are kind of handing these products over. And one of them, for whatever reason, does a little twirl as they're calling out the numbers. But anyway. So here again is a kitchen item. Now, you, as a customer, should get a lot of information before you're going to purchase a kitchen item.
Right here we have the drip tray, everything. This is first quality, has a regular retail $169. How much to go with auction opening bid? Get it a dime. What do I want to get for it? Start it somewhere. Out of the house. Get it a dime.
Nope,
now, remember,
that's it.
This is an espresso machine.
Oh, wait.
All right, it's up at the bid. We've been offered a $50 bid.
By the way, I just noticed this. Again, I on the graphic on the screen above the phone number, it says La Expresso, EXPRESSO. Boy, that screams quality, doesn't it? That mistakenly typed graphics, something that will never change in the home shopping industry.
Thank you. I got 50 offered. Is there any advance over 50? Going, get a dime, minute more. I got $50. We get 75. $60 I've got. 169 retail. $60. That's
Getting serious,
$109
boys.
off. 70 I've got. Going once, going twice. This is a Christmas item at $169. It's an incredible buy. Let's do this. Let's turn them into cash. A special, incredible price. Every hand that goes up, your cost, not $169, not $159, your cost, $49.95. So $49.95. 79 gets one. 812 gets one. 610 gets one. 615 gets one.
And people in the crowd holding up their
Your
numbers.
cost, $49.95. Get up and call it now. All right, here's the next one.
That's it. In 3 minutes, they've introed the show and sold 2 items. So this is obviously a show that goes at a very fast pace. You got to keep up, and you're not going to learn a lot about the products. Here's where this whole concept falls apart. And again, this was popular. This was pop culture. If you saw it, people remember this. Incidentally, in fact, how many people were watching this? It actually scored a Nielsen rating at one point. Where was it? It was recently awarded a 1 rating in a national Nielsen rating of syndicated programs. A 1 rating. Now, back in 1985, that's not great. It's not something you're writing home about. But if you put it into perspective today, it beats People's Court. People's Court got a 0.7 rating in the most recent ratings. It beat You Bet Your Life, Jay Leno's show. It beat that. It beat Jerry Springer. Nick Cannon got a 0.4. Drew Barrymore got a 0.5. Rachel Ray got a 0.7. Kelly Clarkson got a 0.8. Ellen DeGeneres got a 0.9. I mean, it's beating very successful shows with that 1 rating. So, I don't know, maybe they do need to bring it back. But anyway, where it goes wrong is no information. You have to assume the return rates were astronomical. If people buy, because that's impulse buying is what that is. And anybody that's going to do an impulse buy like that is probably going to get the item home and say, this was not what I was expecting, and send it back. And so that's one of the reasons that, for good or ill, the QVC format works is people make their purchase and they stick. I was always very proud of the fact when I was at Shop NBC, they could track returns connected to the hosts, and I had the lowest return rate of all of the hosts at Shop NBC, and I was always very proud of that fact because I wanted to make sure that people were educated and informed. It costs money anytime an item gets returned. It costs big money. So I wore that kind of with a badge of honor. But the other thing about the telephone auction shopping program is the disclaimers. At the start of the show, there were disclaimers scrolling. At the end of the show, there were disclaimers. If you remember Marvin Siegel talking about how there'd be no substitutions, here one of their disclaimers is that they have the right to substitute products. And so a lot of the things that QVC went about fixing were because of things that were brought about by the telephone auction shopping program. Now, I'm going to ask a favor. If after you've listened to this show, if you can at some point, go on YouTube and search telephone auction. And I want you to find the YouTube page run by the subscriber Night Owls. It's one word, NIGHTOWLS, because in the 1980s, these, looked like teenagers at the time, did a spoof of the telephone auction TV show. Now, today everybody has a camera. Everybody has multiple cameras. Back in 1985, 86, video cameras in a home were a very rare thing. These teenagers did a spoof of what you just heard, and some years ago, when was it, April 5th, 2006, Night Owls posted it on YouTube, so you can see it. They only have 6 subscribers. Everyone go there and subscribe. I want these guys' subscribers to blow up because they deserve credit for this. Their spoof is actually pretty good for a couple teenagers and a video camera in 1985.
Welcome to the telephone auction.
Whoops.
And the first item up for bid today is this llama jacket. Now
I know it's
you
hard
may
to
have
hear.
seen this in stores, and it usually goes for what about $2,000?
He's holding a little
$2,000 on
piece
sale.
of fabric.
That'd be a good buy, folks. But what I want to do here, this is insane. These prices we got here are insane today. I'm gonna do it. I'm crazy. I'm in a crazy mood today. Every hand that goes up, every caller that calls in, your price, $15. So 221 gets one, 119 gets one, 151 gets one, 2020.
Brilliant.
127 gets one, 198 gets one.
And his
121
friend
gets one, 228
standing
gets
next to him
one,
did the little
127
spin.
says, I'll take one, 2 times money. 141 gets one, 142 gets one, 119.
I mean, you got to give the guys credit. That really that was exceptionally well done. Now, obviously, there was no internet back then. They didn't have a way to share it. They just recorded it for themselves, just to hang on to, and showed it to their friends and their family. And I love the fact that now we, in the year 2022, can all go and like it. To prove my point, by the way, about how telephone auction, how it stands in people's minds to this day, they may only have 6 subscribers. They have 42 comments to their video. So people have found the video. They have been commenting on it, and 39 likes. Boy, that number needs to go up, to like 390. So find it's if you search telephone auction, it's the clip I played and that really is about it. That's a shame that there isn't more of this. Unfortunately, a lot of this video, it's lost to the ages. It's non-existent. I'm going to be doing a couple shows actually about some more of these lost shows that just there's very little video at all out there anymore, which is a shame. But telephone auction, that was one of the big ones of that time. And there's our time. Speaking of time, our time's up. Signal. If you don't know what that time's up signal is, you'll have to go back a few shows and it will be explained. You know what I want to do? Hang on, I push a button here. I'm not going out with my usual theme music. I want to go out with, there we go. There we go. Now, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss a show. Plus, you can listen to the archive of past shows. I hope you'll check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Sean Wilsey, and on Instagram at SWilsey. Thank you for downloading this edition of Are We On The Air? This has been a King Bobby production.
Yes, I know, Travis. That's why we give such bargains.